Welcome back to Simply Living It. If this is your first time to our channel, welcome. If this is your first time joining us, I just want to give you a big, huge hug and a warm welcome. And I thank you for being here in this space. Now, today's video, I'm gonna get a little honest, and I just wanna share some things that are pressing on my heart right now as we're entering a new homeschooling year, as the curriculum craze and all the things are out and about in full force. I find myself getting distracted by all the things too. I want to share with you in today's video kind of my plan, what I'm thinking as I'm planning and preparing for the 2022-2023 homeschool year. I wanted to share with you what's on my heart and kind of the things that I'm taking into consideration as I'm looking forward to this homeschool year that is up and coming. Now, I haven't purchased a single thing curriculum-wise for the upcoming homeschool year, which is so not my norm. That's not usually how I do things. Normally by now I am done. I have everything I want to use. I'm getting everything organized. Our homeschool room's all put together and nice and neat. And this year I've got nothing, guys. It's the middle of June and I have got nothing on my plate, and I am still clearly sitting here with pen and paper, really just taking some time to breathe and reflect. So if you're a mama who's got it all figured out and you know exactly what you're doing, awesome. If you are like me in this moment where you're just really trying to quiet some of the noise and really reflect on your homeschool journey and what you are really hungry for. Today's video is strictly encouragement because we're all going to do it different. There's no cookie cutter way to homeschool your kids. And I will tell you that a million times. We are not going to fit into a box. We are not going to fit into this little cookie cutter and all come out looking exactly the same. None of us are going to do it the same. It's going to be different. And I find that with all the noise and all the things, and I talk about this a lot, it's very easy for me to get distracted. I love new things. I love adding new things. I love trying new things. I'm just one of the weird ones, I guess, who loves change. Been here on YouTube sharing homeschooling life, encouragement, all the things for 3.5 years now. And you will see a lot of things come. You will see a lot of things go. You will see some things stick around. There is absolutely no shame in doing things different than what you might see here or what you might see on social media. And so I share all of that, but yet I can find myself sometimes getting in that trap too, where I'm like, I'm not doing it right. I should have stuck with this from the very beginning. I should have started here and I should be carrying it out all the way, but that's not me. So if that's what you're looking for, this might not be, I'm just saying, that's not me. All that to say, I'm going down a rabbit trail of a different topic that I want to touch on also. But when it comes to planning our homeschool year, these are the things that are near and dear to me. These are the things I want to focus on. This is my heart. Okay? So when you take everything aside, when you wipe everything off the table and you sit down with a pen and paper, what is your heart? Where is your heart? What are you wanting to instill in your kids? What are you wanting to teach them? What gives you life? And what brings your children to life? What excites learning in them? Sit down with a pen and paper and just sit and focus on that. And I tell you, I kid you not, a lot of us are going to have the same answers, but we're going to orchestrate it differently in our home. So for me personally, I have a list of some things when I'm looking at homeschool planning that I'm taking into consideration. Again, I have bought nothing curriculum-wise. I haven't had anything sent to me. I bought nothing for the upcoming homeschool year thus far, mid-June, okay? I'm really trying to be very serious and very intentional on this, and that's why I have been kind of MIA for a month, a little over a month, because I really just want to get back to me. Get back to God and what He has for our family. Quiet all the noises. I talk about that all the time. But guys, I fall victim to it also. I do. I'm human. I'm just like you mamas. Living and breathing and walking it out every day. This is where I get real, is right here with the pen and paper. And the end of a homeschool year is always a great time to reflect. What worked well for our family this homeschool year and what did not work well for our family this homeschool year? What did we focus on that maybe I want to, lean into again this year? And what did we miss that I want to, right? What are some things that are on your heart that you really want to dive into with your kids? So as I'm rambling, I'm going to just lay it out right now. My heart, okay? This is my heart. It might look different, but it might be very much the same. What we believe and why we believe it. Standing firm in that foundation. That's what I want to be working through and leaning into. And this isn't just homeschool related, this is life. That's where my heart is and has been for a long time, is just what can I do as their mom to help them, to give them more knowledge, to start these conversations that aren't always the easiest conversations to have. When things don't make sense, we're going to learn together. We're going to go through this together. We're going to get out the Bible. We're going to see what God says about this. We're going to do this together as a family. That is right where I want to be, right there. So for our family, what does this look like? It's our morning basket time. It's getting our Bible out every day, actually, before we start school. This is the Bible I've been reading from lately. I've shared it before here, but it's my own keepsake Bible. It's the Bible kind of essentially in story form. And so we are just about to the end of this Bible. And then I don't know if we'll start it again and read through the whole thing again, or if we will start with a different Bible. But this is something that we will be using very diligently in our homeschool this upcoming year, and making sure that we're having that time sitting down together as a family. The Bible right now, teaching that to my children, standing firm and strong in their faith, giving them that foundation that I didn't have growing up. That's my heart, and I'm so passionate about that right now. So that's our read aloud time. That's our family morning basket in our homeschool. I have a basket sitting right here that I can see that has the books that we're currently reading and working through. And that, to me, love it. One of my, if not my most favorite time in our homeschool, when we sit on the couch, when we read, when we get into God's word, when we talk about it, we have some conversations and discussions that have been such a blessing to me this last year, because I've been so intentional about that. And that's one thing I've been so grateful for, is that time, even if it's just 5 minutes, that time. Am I faithful to do it every day? No, because we don't obviously homeschool every day. So it looks different, but yeah, that's something I'm loving. We'll be spending some time doing read alouds. So that's the second thing on my list as I'm planning out, is read alouds. I want to read the classics. I want to spend some more time reading our Christian heroes books. We've done those before. I've shared them here a long time ago, and we want to spend some time going through more of them as we work through our homeschool years. We're currently reading the Christian heroes book, C.S. Lewis from the Christian Heroes, the YWAM books, and we're enjoying that one. It is not our first dive into the YWAM books. We have kind of a collection of them going, but a lot of things that I'm looking at adding, a lot of things that I want to add when it comes to our homeschool and our morning basket, like family read aloud time, but I haven't made any final choices on that yet, so you're not going to get that here in this video. This is just simply what I'm thinking as I'm looking ahead and planning for the upcoming year. Number 3, okay? Interest-led learning. This is something, honestly, that always sounds so amazing to me, and I'm so inspired by mamas who do this, but in all honesty, I suck at it. I want to be so much better at that this year. That's something I want to do. I want to get out of my head. I want to get out of my public school mindset and really lean into like the nature study side of things. And I go through this like a cycle, guys, and you'll see it if you've been here for a while. I do. It's just who I am. We're going to unschool for a while. No, we're hitting the books. Nope, now we're going to unschool. Nope, we're hitting the books. Now we're like, it's a cycle that I just continue to go through. And I'm okay with it at this point. It's who I am. It's how we do things. I get it. But I feel this shift of just really wanting to not completely unschool by any means, but interest-led learning. You'll know that I love unit studies. I've used Gather Round homeschool curriculum for the last 3 years in our home. We will still be using that this upcoming year. That will be one of the chunks of unit study curriculum that we will use. It will be Gather Round. We will also possibly be doing a couple unit studies from The Good and the Beautiful. There are a couple that look interesting to me. Haven't made any final decisions, but looking at that. And then also Rooted Home Life recently shared, I think it's For the Love of Homeschooling, like a nature guide, if you will, where each month they have like a different theme that they're covering for the month. And it's like $12 a month. I don't know. I'll link it down here. I don't have all the information on it. I just randomly came across it when she was sharing on Instagram, and I thought that looks really cool. So I'm very much into, what are you interested in? What do we want to learn about? Not necessarily bringing in a bunch more resources into our home, not necessarily bringing in a bunch of curriculum into our home, but going after the things that we're interested in. So of course, interest-led learning in the form of different unit studies that we will bring in, letting my kids look and pick maybe a few things, maybe 2 each that they want to do, and we'll dive into them through the homeschool year. I don't know what that'll look like exactly, but we'll cross that bridge as I'm continuing to plan for the year. Fourth thing I want to mention when it comes to planning and my initial thoughts for this year are we will be going back to homeschool co-op. So I've shared that before. If you missed any of my videos that have been non-existent, that's random. If you've missed any of those, I did mention we're going back to co-op in the fall. So we will be covering history there. We will be covering geography, like a STEM. Trying to remember what else. I think there's a cooking class. So some of those things are things that we were already doing in our home that I'm not going to have to do in home anymore if I don't want to. If I want to, yes. But if I don't want to, I don't have to do that, which opens up what we're going to be doing here in our home so much more beautifully. And there was a point in my life, I'm just going to be honest, since that's what we're doing here. There was a point in my life where I didn't like that. I felt like I was being pulled another direction. I was being pulled out of co-op, essentially, because I wanted to do things a specific way at home. But now that my kids are getting older, I am finding the help and the blessings that come from having a community, a small family co-op, which is what ours is. It's a very small co-op, small town feel, where we're covering some of the things that are big that I don't necessarily want to do alone with my kids, but they're interesting. My kids are interested in these courses. So I'm looking forward to being in that season of life again, the co-op side of things. So I'm taking that into consideration when I'm planning for our upcoming year, because I don't feel it's necessarily effective or worth doing two different things of the same nature in our home and doing it at co-op. That's overkill, that's too much. So as I'm planning it, we probably won't be doing any crazy science at home this coming year because we'll have it. We probably won't be doing any crazy history. Essentially what I'm saying is things are gonna look different here. So that gives me, I feel, more freedom to kind of spread our wings. And initially I felt getting out of co-op gave us freedom to spread our wings, which in that season it did. But right now I'm very much feeling like that is a huge blessing in our home, and I'm not taking that for granted. And it's giving me the freedom to come home and then lean into what we want to do at home. I can lean into all these things that I'm sharing on this piece of paper that are my heart. And I'm excited for that. I'm very much excited for that and what this next homeschool year will bring. So the last thing I want to talk about, okay, so the things I do know. Okay, so now that I've shared my heart and kind of my vision as I'm planning for our new homeschool year, I do have a few things narrowed down. I'll have a 9th grader, a 7th grader, and a 4th grader. They will all be continuing with teaching textbooks this upcoming homeschool year. I do know that. And like I said, we will have a couple unit studies from Gather Round Homeschool that we'll be bringing in. I think also a couple from The Good and the Beautiful that we will be bringing in as well. These will be unit studies. And then Fix It Grammar. We've used it for 2 years. We still love it. That will probably be making an appearance again. And IEW, I shared a video about that just a while back, actually, like 2 months ago. We're about 10 weeks into that program, the structure and style from IEW, and it's going really good. We're gonna kind of play around with it this summer and see how it works through the summer. So whether that will be a part of the upcoming homeschool year or not, I don't know. We're gonna mess around with it, kind of play with it, get a feel for it, get really solid with it and see kind of what we're all thinking and feeling. But I'm very much being pulled to the time with my kids, sitting and reading with them, having time on the couch, having these good conversations. My heart right now is everything I just shared with you. It's not all these things that we're bringing in and piling on and waiting on us. I get wrapped up with the public school mentality also and forget that we do have the freedom to decide what we're gonna teach and how we're gonna teach it. We also have the freedom to ask them, our kids, what do you wanna learn about this year? What's something that interests you? What do you wanna learn about? We have that freedom to get to ask our children that. And I wrestle with all of it. You can ask any of my in-person, real-life mama friends who know I wrestle constantly with new curriculum. And not just something that comes out that's new, but just in general, homeschool curriculum is a fun thing. I love it. I love all the things. I love getting new curriculum. I love looking through it. I love getting my hands on it and feeling it and seeing, is this something that will work for our family? And we've used a lot of things. And a lot of things have left and a lot of things have stayed. And it's not whether they're good or bad, but they served us for a season and then we move on. So you will continue to see that here. You will probably continue to see things that come for a season and then we let them go. And you'll continue to see changes and you'll continue to see the cycles that I go through as I'm sharing things here, because this is real life unfolding. That's what I'm sharing. This is real life. This is our life. This is our home. This is how we're doing it. You guys, that gives me energy. That's what keeps me going. It keeps my kids going, and it works for our home and our family, and I don't have to answer to anybody about that. I'm simply just here to offer up encouragement and to maybe share something that you might love, that you might enjoy, and maybe not. Maybe we'll do it the same, and maybe we won't. My job is to walk this out. My job is to make all this come alive for my kids. That's my job as their mama. To check in with them, to see how things are going, to see what they want to learn about, to see where their interests are, to know we have a possible opportunity of my boys getting to take a welding class this fall. That's wonderful. That's right up their alley. That's totally what they're into, and I can't wait for that. There are so many things that we're going to be leaning into this upcoming homeschool year, and as I'm just looking over and planning all of it, I wanted to share it with you because I feel like maybe there's something that can encourage you. If you're out there and you're like me, I haven't stuck with A all the way through. We've started with A, we've jumped to C, we've jumped to D, we went to Z, then we come back to A, then we go back to X. Like, we bounce and we move and we flow and we welcome all this stuff in, welcoming it in. That's the thing. That's what I'm on right now. It's just being here, being present, doing the next right thing. So if that means we're letting go of something and bringing something else in, so be it. If that means we're going to pause everything and just really lean into the nature study side of things, then so be it. That's what we're going to do. Whatever that means and looks like for your family, for your home, you are so able and capable and allowed to do that. So that's where I'm at, guys. Okay. This will be our 10th year as a homeschooling family. Crazy. Our homeschooling story has been just that. It is a story. It is a story that is still unfolding. It is a journey. It is our life. The learning doesn't stop. So that's what I have to share with you today. I know I kind of went here and there and everywhere, but I just want to share what's been laid on my heart, what I'm dealing with and going through and trying to sort out as I'm planning. And it's beautiful. I'm really excited for what's to come. I'm leaning into it and welcoming it. And it's a shift. I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know when I'll have all the things to share with you, but trust me when I tell you that once I do, you will be the first to know. Maybe the second, because, that's life, right? But for now, that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in our next video. If you have any questions or any concerns or any such thing, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to encourage you in any way that I can or answer some of your questions. So I will see you in our next one. Bye, moms.